dogs. We breed those as well as the big dogs, and hopefully as the time goes on, this dog will be assessed for its working ability and its temperament, and if we think it's suitable, then it will go on to further training. The second dog we can see here is Carolyn She. Carolyn has a dog called Zato, I think I've got that name right. 8 months old, and is that about right, Carolyn? Yeah? I think that one is a German Shepherd dog, and it has been bred by us again, and that little dog will just be socialised, introduced to all the sights and sounds out there in the big wide world, given lots of love and attention and exercise. Once a month these dogs come in back to the kennels, and if the handlers have any problems with them, if they need food or if they need veterinary attention or any pieces of kit, then they can get all the sort of advice from the staff and also from the other puppy walkers who've experienced all the ups and downs in this type of work, and share their experiences. Finally, on the far side over there, we've got Dave Edwards with Aztec, 6 months old. A bright little puppy over there, isn't he? And in a little while, we'll see, in just a few moments' time, we'll see Aztec working. You can see the harness that he's got on, just to spread the load on his young frame there. And we'll show you how we develop these dogs, just to see if they have the right sort of temperament and abilities that we could use later on in the fully trained dogs. So there we are, product of our puppy breeding scheme. Three people who give up their time freely and willingly. I think I'm right in saying that Trish Parlow over there has been with us for a number of years. Trish, how many dogs have you had, Trish? Well, far too many probably to remember, but she's been doing it for several years and does a wonderful job for us. So we'll just let Trish take the springer off on the side there, and we'll show you Dave Raymond in the centre of our arena here. He's part of the puppy breeding scheme, and it's his job to assess these puppies and to bring them on and to develop them before they go on for full training. So you can see that this little dog, it's all down to play and keeping these little dogs happy. But you'll see in a little while how this is developed. So we'll see on just a bite roll, a very soft piece of equipment. It's not going to harm the dogs in any way, shape or form. But we want to see if this dog has the prey drive, the ability to go forward, take a firm hold, and then under command, just releasing, coming back for his ball as a reward. But you can see how intense already that this little dog, he loves the game, his ears are up, his tail's wagging, full of enthusiasm, full of drive. And as we move it on from the little bite rolls onto the soft padded sleeve, you'll see a little bit later how this is developed with the big adult dogs. Just one more. And this is the start of the standoff and bark exercise. And again, the little dog, with all the distractions in this big arena here, we're able to let this little 6-7-month-old dog off the lead to run forward and to bark up in front of the helper. And finally, albeit over 5 yards or so, just dropping the lead, letting the dog run forward, and as his reward, he's won the sleeve look and he's as happy as Larry. So, thank you so much, Dave Edwards, and hopefully, potentially, please dog Aztec and Dave Raymond. So we've seen the product of our breeding scheme. Those dogs then are passed on at appropriate age, generally around about 12 months of age, and they go on to be allocated to a handler and go on to an initial dog training course. We have a course running at the moment, led by instructor Darren Carmella, who is over to my left there, all dolled up with his protective arm guards on. And what we're going to see now is this current course, which is in week 9 of a 12-week course. So they're very, very close to being licensed and being out and operational. We'll just see how the work is developed with these young dogs prior to them being deployed. Come on then. So Louise Conlon with police dog Usher. The standout exercise that we saw the little dog doing earlier, just practicing and being developed, is now being pushed on. The fleeing criminal decides to stand still. The dog then does not bite him, but stands off and barks and keeps him under surveillance. the end of this little exercise, you can see once again that the toy is produced. And that happy little dog is being brought on to be a very, very useful tool in our fight against crime here in the West Midlands Police. Kieran Davis with Tito, at the corner of the arena here. And Karen Smith, who is acting as helper. So that exercise is where the handler, having sent the dog to attack, a fleeing criminal decides for whatever reason that the dog must be stopped for perhaps safety reasons, and we call that the emergency stop. As you can see there, with a very, very young dog, it was very well performed indeed. The third dog on the initial course, Joe Smith with police dog Rogue, will now challenge this dog as a test of courage. Smith out in the centre there. So using a soft padded stick in this instance, the dog's courage is tested. As you can see, he was well up to the task. A good determined drive in and bite. And instant control on command of the handler. Thank you, Joe. Police dog Road. And once again, at the end of an exercise well done, the toy is produced and the dog gets lots of fuss and play as his reward. The final two guys on the course here, Amish Lloyd and police dog Raven. Darren Carmel out in the centre acting as helper. Again, with all the distractions in a large arena such as this, under the bright lights and everything else that this dog has to contend with, a fine straight chase, a good determined attack and an instant control of the exercise well done. Lee Veltman on the far side now, sending police dog Raven, and again a good determined attack. Really firm bite, very determined animal this one. And instant control. Thank you, Lee. So there we are, young dogs just on the verge of being deployed and going out operationally onto the streets of the West Midlands Police, and I think you'll agree, very impressive. Well done boys. Well done, Darren. So those are the general purpose police dogs, the larger dogs, and we'll see a little bit more from those in a short while. What we'd like to show you now is a demonstration by some of the specialist search dogs. So just while we're setting out the arena, we've got a few bags that we're going to set out. Hopefully everybody around the arena will be able to see this. And in one of those bags we're going to place a controlled substance. Now this could be anything, of course. Once we've taught the dogs to recognise what we want them to find, it could be drugs, explosives, it could be large quantities of money, anything at all. Once we've taught the dogs to recognise that scent, then obviously we use their tremendous power of smell, their sense of smell, and their drive and determination, and we ask them then to go and examine whatever it might be, in this case, the bags in the centre of the arena, and to discover what for us will be very, very important evidence. Don't tell anybody, these dogs think it's all a big game, of course. For us, it's a very, very important piece of the policing process. So, if we call upon Dean Lancaster in the first instance, and search dog Bo, a 4-year-old Springer Spaniel, an experienced dog this one, with lots of valuable finds under his belt already, and we'll see, carry on mate, and we'll see exactly how this little dog works. So again, given all the distractions in this large arena with the bright lights, a large number of people around, this dog very intent, worked on the lead, being tasked by its handler to each of the articles in turn. The dog will